Hi all, Chris here. I just wanted to weigh in a little bit on the whole idea of saving the environment. Now, we all know the environment, you know, nature should be preserved and everything. But people have gone insane. I mean, the whole idea of climate change is based on junk science. There's nothing that can be proven about any of it. We have not been keeping records long enough of the weather and the temperature and that sort of thing to be able to make the kinds of broad sweeping allegations that they're making. It's just all ridiculous. I mean, let's be generous and say that we've been keeping records of the weather for 200 years, maybe 250 years. Think about how old the Earth is. Now, if you're one of those people who believes in evolution, that would be millions of years. If you're a Bible believer, that would be about 6,000 years-ish. So, either way, that's a long, long time. And you just can't prove that there's anything going on that's caused by what humans have been doing. But that aside, I also want to say they started with our light bulbs. We had incandescent bulbs. So these people decided that the government should force all of us to get rid of our incandescent bulbs because LEDs last longer, use less energy, and blah, blah, blah. So, the only hazard you had with an incandescent bulb would be if it broke, you might cut yourself on the glass. That's the only hazard. LED bulbs, however, contain lead, arsenic, nickel, and copper. They advise that you wear a mask while you're sweeping up the remains of it. I mean, it's unhealthy. LED bulbs could potentially kill you. So explain to me again why our lives and our health are less important than the minimal amount of energy that you save by using them. I don't get it. So, moving on to the electric phenomenon. I've seen these ads for the Ego tools, the energy-powered lawnmowers and so forth. I'm surprised nobody has thought of the fact that instead of using a gas-powered mower or an electric-powered mower, they used to have these mowers that ran on human power alone. Amazing thought, isn't it? So you would just go out there and you use your own little hands and mow the grass that way. And if you're too lazy to do that, why don't you just get a sheep and have them graze your lawn? In fact, they did that at the White House. Woodrow Wilson had bought sheep to graze on the White House lawn, and he sold the wool. So he saved taxpayers money that way. If you're a crafter, you can, whenever you got your sheep sheared, you could use that wool to spin into yarn, or you could sell the wool. There's lots of advantages to sheep. But it's funny how people would rather, number one, find problems where they don't exist, such as climate change. Number two, they're too stupid and or lazy to solve the problem by doing things that will inconvenience them. And they find solutions that are more hazardous than the quote-unquote problem that they're trying to solve. And electric vehicles and power tools, etc., they use lithium batteries. And I've said this before, but lithium is a finite resource. It is difficult to mine, and the people who mine it, they use, children and other disadvantaged people to do the mining for them, so it's exploitative. And lithium batteries don't hold a charge for very long, and they can catch fire in water. So explain to me again how that's better than simply using a gas-powered thing or your own manual power. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So those are my thoughts on the whole ecological problem. And to sum up, I guess I would have to say the problem is the people who are trying to create the problem and then solve it. Because that's what people always do. They make up a problem to which they already have the solution. So I would look strongly at who benefits from this climate change fiasco. Probably the people who come up with the lithium batteries and the electric items that they want you to use that are powered by the batteries. So those are my thoughts, for whatever they're worth to you. Have a good one.